think we will take this up to the top field ready to start. I'm not looking at my equipment, what's the word for it? Maintenance levels. I probably should. Because I've been kind of neglecting. Tractors get maintained as and when they're needed because we're using them most of the time. But with things like the windrower and the mowers and stuff like that, what I tend to do is I'll clean them and put them away, but then I won't maintain them until next time I use them. And I'm being a bit bad at the moment and not maintaining them the next time I use them. Okay, so that's up there ready to go. Pretty sure we have nothing around the farm to do right now. Doggy's hiding. I'm going to open the gate because I can't be bothered to walk around. So there's still hay on this field. But this grass, this isn't a field, so this is just a pasture, so no field information available. I left that gate open. Yeah, this has come up ready to harvest too. That's interesting. I wasn't expecting that. This field needs to be ploughed as well, but we'll probably do that in spring. It could use another level of fertilization. It doesn't have any weeds on it. Maybe we come out there and do that one too. It's a bit late, but it would put all the fields on the same cycle at that point. Okay. And we'll do this one too. That'll give us more hay. And we should have a break between the cereal and oilseed, well, the canola, and the other stuff. Okay. So, change of plans. We'll reattach to the mowers. Also put the mowers into the workshop just briefly. There, I can drive it in and out without smashing into the door frame. Thing I do know is the detection point doesn't come up to this far, so yeah, we could repair that, I guess. If I'd come any further forwards, the front mower wouldn't be detected on the tabber. There's the tractor. That's fine. Oh. Okay, so fix some of the broken blades and what have you, greased the nozzles, and we are able to get out there and make hay again. Down, put that down and unfold it, turn it on. So, lots of grass work today, yay. These two fields won't take long at all because they're comparatively small. I was going to drive up behind the barley field and check that out as well. So there's the grass field at the top of that one, which is quite substantially bigger than these small fields here. Can't afford it this year, but that may be something I want to look at the end of the year when we've got the income from harvest. Yeah, saying that the grass work is a good multiplayer activity. There's a couple. I think playing on a map that is traditionally American, atmosphere, where the fields are bigger and what have you, that also works well on a multiplayer. I did enjoy our time on South Mountain Creamery, where we had big fields, couple of harvesters running, a whole lot of carting. When we were mowing, there was usually one or two people mowing, and then folks baling stuff up and what have you. And yes, on a farm this side, I'm kind of borderline. I can do the work on this farm. Sometimes it would be nice to have someone else around to help with the carting, like when I'm doing sugar beets. But for the most part, this is still, it's a handful, but it's something you can work solo. So, but yeah, the one time I do miss, having help, if you like, is when I'm doing the sugar beet harvest, because that truck needs to be running non-stop just to keep the harvester serviced. If anything, I should probably be using the other trailer for carting as well. It won't cart as much as the truck does, but at the very least it fills the gap when the truck's running back to the yard. Most of the time with grass work, though, I mean, even going back to Lawfolds, I was just running the grass train. These fields are a little bit smaller than the Lawfolds fields. I mean, that bottom pasture was huge. But that was run at 9 miles an hour whilst rowing and stuff. Although can't do that anymore. Running the grass train, I want to make hay. I've got to wait time now. 17, I could just head and TED and row and bale in 4 tractors. But, can't do that anymore. You have to let it dry. So I can do this is an easy solo option. And if we were doing silage bales, because we've got the X tractor now, I'm generally, I thought I missed a bit over here, never mind. Oh, I did. It's just bale, collect, and drop off in the lower yard, and then wrap them as you get them. Although we did use the X tractor on field mounting when we did the co-op with Mrs. Osa, and that one she'd be running around collecting the bales with the bale collection wagon while I was stacking them up on the X tractor. So it works. Yeah, it's a good multiplayer thing. I'm surprised the hay on this field didn't go away though. Well, I guess that goes to show that dew in the morning does not destroy grass, but while rain does. But it does create for a wet crop condition, so you can't harvest when the ground's wet. I think the drying stages are checked potentially every 15 minutes. So it'll probably take me thinking as long to windrow these fields as it has to mow them. But what that will mean is that there will be a break between doing those first 2 fields and this one for windrowing. Although I think you can, that hay was grass when we dry grass when we windrowed it. So we could come out, windrow these fields, and they would still dry. And I don't know if that's that causes the drying process to slow down or not. I know if you did, from watching some earlier videos, if I was to come back and TED this grass, it would reset the drying potential. So let's say it's warm enough to dry in 3 hours. If after 2 hours I came out and TEDed it, that would reset the counter back to 3 needed. So yes, you're supposed to TED this in the UK, but it's dry, and the game mechanic says just leave it alone. You're encouraged to leave it alone. So not going to do that. Now if we do switch to the farming agency version of this map, then that wasn't planned. It takes 3. You have to ted the grass 3 times for it to turn into hay, or dry clover or hay clover, whatever. And so at that point we would need to buy a tedder, and you have to ted it. I am hearing that it's difficult to tell how many times you have successfully tedded it, because there's no texture change between between each stage of tedding, but you just have to do it 3 times. I did see someone put in a note, so I just have to run around the field with the tedder, disconnect it, reconnect it, and then run around the field again, and that's the second count. And then I think there's still an element of, after you've tedded it for the 3rd time, you still have to wait for it to dry. But that's something I'm going to have to test sometime when I feel like it. To do that end bit where we've done the turns, turning it a little bit too sharply for the mowers to cut continuous width. So like here, and at the bottom here we kind of missed a bit, or not. Okay. Around the bottom. There we go. So it's easier to take the wider turn than the narrower turn. And I'm not going to bother washing the equipment after this. It's just been washed, so it's good for now. Just a little bit too wide, and I'm not positioning myself ideally for that. Oh, up the right hand mower over that bit, and okay, we can call this field pretty much done when we get to the other end. Almost done. Alright, fold that up. Fold that up, lift that up, let's go. We'll put this stuff away. And I'm gonna, oops, actually using this end of the yard. Then go and check on the grass field where the fence parked and see how drying's going. select the right piece of equipment. The other problem, of course, with the farming agency map is it has a more enhanced animal feed system. So the sheep take multiple types of grass, and you have to feed them all the types. So kind of like cows were in Farm Sim 17, where you had to feed them grass and hay or silage and TMR. With the farming agency, you have to feed the sheep hay and clover and carrots and whatever else, and so that does mean that while you'll probably end up using less of each individual feed type, their total feed I doubt will go up by any significant amounts. We will have to split our fields up into the various grasses, and we'll have to grow carrots. I did investigate one of the maps, and it looks like basically we're doing beet technology. No, we're not doing that sort of beet technology because it's too darned expensive. We're doing this type of beet technology. I would have to buy a completely new set of these in order to harvest carrots as well, which is 120,000 off the bat. And right when we need it, because if I switch this, we'll be switching in winter or end of fall at least, because I'd switch the map and turn on weeds already. Go away, don't be there. Yeah, we'd have to get the sheep production back up to 100%, which means providing them with all the feed types, which would mean having to buy some of the feed types from the store. Okay, we're going to make this thing go faster. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Weather. It's a fair drying. Wind gets faster tomorrow. But oh no! 9 o'clock in the morning it's going to rain. That's bad. Because that could mean that we need to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and row and bale these and get them under shelter before 9 a.m. because then it's going to rain and then that's a problem. Ugh. Turn into hay already, turn into hay already. There's no way to tell how soon this will turn to hay. Fairly certain the other field's not going to. Yeah. It should be the top one that turns first, but it's 8 o'clock already. collecting the bales isn't too bad. Getting them under the shelter might be, because I could get that that loading or the collection wagon into one of the sheds in time. But this is the life of a farmer. So I'm gonna lose all my stuff. And if this doesn't dry, that's critical, because the next cut will be in fall, and there's just no opportunity, or very little opportunity, to cut. Oh, there's the planes. Yay, planes. But there's no opportunity to cut and dry. It's going to be cloudy. This is just not good. 10 o'clock at night, and it's still not hay. Well, it is what it is. We're going to have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Maybe 5. The big risk with seasons, because it takes time to dry. Oh, fence, wall. Okay, so sleep for 7 hours, I guess. An interest, and 5 o'clock in the morning, and the reports are weather is gonna be bad today. I can't even see, it's dark. That's not dry. That's still grass. Okay, here's what we can do. Turn the engine on. That would be a good start. Oh, late summer. Just a matter of interest, the canola is ready to harvest. We could harvest today, which is what I'd like to spend my time doing. Okay, so change of plans. We are going to leave these 2 fields as late as we can before baling them. The 2 fields that we cut late yesterday, or later yesterday, I'm going to bale them now and wrap them. Because I don't think there's enough time to dry out everything. And having some silage bales is it's okay. But I would be much happier